I made it. It's almost noon on Saturday. Ooh, what a lazy morning. That's fine. It's fine for a good reason. I thought I was going to have to go to the post office this morning. I had gotten a new watch that I thought was something wrong with it. We'll see when it gets returned. It's sent it off to where the manufacturer said does their service on the East Coast. And they're sent it back, and they sent it back by 2-day USPS, and it's been over a week. It was just kind of sitting. I thought, oh shoot, it has been lost. And I was going to go to the post office this morning and ask if they could somehow track it, because they said it's, just in motion to the next place, which 2-day air should be put on the plane. It's there. Anyway, it shows out for delivery today. So I didn't have to do that. So I just got lazy. Ended up watching some live stream of this place in China where they sell these beautiful teacups and teapots. And that's a whole nother story. I don't know. We'll get to that on this shave. Using this big boy, the Asylum RX. Just because it's late enough in the day, there's a noticeable increased growth on my face to remove. And gotta be gentle with this guy though. Let the razor do the work. Yeah, so I decided to share my Eric Sorrentino brushes today, because some time ago, probably a couple months now, I had reached out to him because mostly, he does beautiful work, part of the cadre member, but it's just a hobby. So he doesn't have, like a business page, or doesn't have stuff that he advertises for sale or anything. So a lot of his stuff is custom work. You got enough to keep him busy just with what people ask him to do. But I've been lucky to accumulate it over time, a bunch of his brushes. And I'll show you when I'm done with my last pass, this one, because it's got soap all over it. So I've reached out to him several times and say, can you do this one for me? Can you do this for me? Usually it's, sure, this is how much it'll be, or this is what it'll look like, or nah, I can't quite handle that yet, and that kind of stuff. So recently he had done a couple of amazing brushes. I think Barber Dave started the whole thing with, he had a Coca-Cola soap, so he wanted a brush in the shape of a Coca-Cola glass. And not just that, but he wanted it to look like Coke. So I know, I believe he said, Eric said this was the most difficult brush he's ever done. But somehow he layered poured the acrylic and layered it himself to have like a Coke looking substance through the thing. And then he had clear acrylic ice cubes that he put in there. Anyway, pretty cool. And then I know somebody saw that and asked for I think it was KJ, asked him to do a Guinness brush, so the same shape but have the colors of Guinness. And while he was doing this, it's always in the back of my mind, hey, what I might have him do next. It's always neat to get a custom brush that nobody else has. But he also he's had a lot going on in his personal life and moving a couple of times, and so I've always been like I'm not gonna, until he says, okay, I'm ready, I've settled down. So I figured, okay, he's sounds like he's got some time now to get back to this hobby. So I had an idea for a brush that wasn't even that hard. It required some woodworking skills, but if I had the right equipment, which really would have just been a drill press, which I don't have at this house. It's back at the house we own. I think I could have whipped up the blank form even. I would have needed the right types of wood and all this, but it's kind of almost, you know, put a couple pieces together in a certain design and then just create it like any other brush on your the spinning thing. Not router, not I keep, that's why I say spinning thing, because I know it's not a router, but I keep thinking about router, the lathe. But he said that after the last ones he's done, he's kind of chilled it out a bit for the stuff that is more challenging. So I'm blaming the rest of the cadre guys. My thing was not that challenging, but you guys burnt him the heck out. Man, so I hope Eric can take a break for a little bit, and then again, getting the focus back on me, get to my idea. I've often thought of that. I've never owned a lathe, and while I find that interesting, and I would like to be able to turn and finish my own brushes and stuff like that, you know, I'm not gonna. How many can you make for yourself and use? So I don't think I would ever go down that rabbit hole. But I had thought that I could maybe produce blanks for him to turn and finish. Because at one point he didn't have a pressure pot to use and didn't mess around with acrylic and that kind of stuff. And now he does. But when I was bringing up ideas back then that needed that before he had it, I kind of thought, well, maybe I could do that part. And I could learn to do this and make blanks for him. And anyway, maybe when I'm old and retired and he's old and retired, anyway, I could do maybe the woodworking parts and then say, here's the blanks of brushes I would like, if you could just turn them and finish them for a fee. But anyway, so I didn't show you we're using a Mammoth almond leather soap and have almond leather aftershave. So I pulled out all my Sorrentino brushes. I think I showed them once before, but so sure, it started with this one. This is the Cadre Legacy brush with their original logo on it. So all the Legacy members that were there at the beginning of the Cadre got to buy one of those. And then I don't know the order of the rest of them. I think this was the next one. I like the idea. It's just a little too small. I don't use this much at all. This part is a little, it's actual badger and it's too short and too small. So it's a little bit scrubby. I call this the chess piece again, although just how elegant it was. And this is what you can do. I talked to him about 2 different types of woods and where does the transition happen. And for a while, I had even thought about this all being this darker black wood and just having just a band of the lighter color wood around top. That would look cool too. Maybe I'll do that sometime and get it bigger, like the beefier stuff. So anyway, he did that. Then he did 2 of these, what do you call them? I don't know what you call them, combo. It's a burl wood and then acrylic. He buys these blanks, you know, these are squares. He buys them already kind of put together like this. So I call this the Seafoam one and then the Oregon State one because it's got black and orange for my alma mater. He did those 2. This one I just asked him, I like the shape. So I pretty much asked for the shape and just asked him to get a nice burly type of wood. So this is the blonde Vixen. And then the one, I think I showed it on my last shave. This one I call Ocean Waves. And this I won nice and beefy. I like the size of this one. And I won this quite some time ago. He was very, very generous guy. He had a bunch of blanks from, he had run a contest where people that won it could ask for certain colors to be mixed in as acrylic blanks that he would make. And then I don't remember, I think he had some leftover trials, and this was just when he was figuring out kind of how to make his own acrylic stuff. And so he again ran another contest where a whole bunch of people won basically the blanks, and then could pick what shape they wanted and what size hole to drill it out to. So it took me a while to finally get a knot that I liked. First one I ordered was a little too stiff, so I reordered. Anyway, it's a cool brush. And then the one I used today, this is the first day I have used this one. I believe this is the first anniversary brush. Again, it's got the old TSC logo on the bottom. I don't like this color green. So it's just a personal preference for me. This green and yellow is just not my thing. So I have never used it. And then when I was thinking about all the Sorrentino brushes I owned, I thought, you know what? Really need to pull that one out. I mean, it's part of the Sorrentino collection. Anyway, there it is. So that's my Sorrentino collection. Let's get going here. Again, always with the Quins now. I need to get the spray bottle like all the cool kids have. I pour a bunch on my hand, let it fall off, and that's how much you need. I really wish, you know, while a lot of us have switched to Quins because we were getting no love from Thayer's, you know what? If they reached out and showed us a love, we could be maybe swayed. Still haven't gotten no love from Quins, but I wish they would have a lemon. There are many scents, the soaps and stuff that I use that just something brighter like lemon would mesh better than like the lavender, the cucumber, what have you. Let me rinse out my bowl here. No Zoom, no Cadre Zoom call this weekend. Sadness and a hush came across. So talk about sadness and a hush. Last time I mentioned we got a really cool bingo game going. It's coming and it's gone for me. I was the first one blasted out of the waters in the Battleship. So actually, the winner likely will be crowned this weekend, just with so many calls happening. And it's kind of like this. You're just alone in the ocean, and pa-pa! This moment of wapa brought to you by Hombre's Barbershop, the sweetest smelling barbershop in Tucson. But I was hopeful. I had my hopes up, much to KJ's chagrin, early in the game, because I didn't get a single hit the first day. I think maybe the second day I was like, I got a really good shot at this, and I think they ganged up on me. Is that what happened? Is that what happened, KJ? Anyway, that's about it. I got we'll do the old almond leather after show. It looks like, I don't know if I've ever used this then. It's in a glass bottle, so you wouldn't think it would be thick, but there's no reducer. So I think I don't need it to come out all over the place, but yeah, it's thick like a lotion. You just need a couple drops. A little dab will do you. So yeah, it's on the list. I gotta get, I've really cut back, which is good. It's fine. This ain't gonna kill me, but I really could use some more leather scents to put on. I really just go to my Tom Ford Tuscan leather, which, how about, it's not leathery leather? Ghost Town Barber. It's not odd, but rare that I mix scents when it's like specific for a soap. So there's Ghost Town Barber soap. So I would I think I've always exclusively used this with Ghost Town Barber soap. But man, I'm getting crazy. I'm getting loosened up in my old age. But this has some nice leather to it. But anyway, I need a nice, just dark, rich leather scent. Anyway, there we go. Guys, give Eric Sorrentino a break, would you, so he can get back to my brush? I appreciate it. Thank you. See you on the forums.